Short video about correcting a couple of mistakes and errors of judgment. Incidentally, I've just seen a hornet buzzing around over there. I wonder if I'll be able to get close enough to film it. Probably not. Very attractive animals they are, although obviously you don't want to get stung by them, and I never have been. If you hadn't seen this hornet when I started this video, oh no, it's not going to let itself be filmed. Well, that's okay. Yes. Little mistake. This is the what we call the oval spinney. I'll show you inside here. It's just a quiet little place. I occasionally like to just stand here for some time under some trees I planted and just reflect and listen. The bird song and the distant roar of cars on the motorway. Anyway. In this corner, before these trees were very big, and they were all small, they all came through the post, you know, when we planted them, I put a few medlars and quince down here, and we planted them too close together, and we forgot how tall all this was going to get, so the shade was in. Now where I'm standing, I mean literally right here where I'm standing, there was a fairly big quince tree, like this quince tree here. There's a quince blossom coming out, and here's another quince tree. These are too close together as well. And here's a medlar, which is ridiculously too close. You can see the medlar and the quince are growing into each other. I dug it out and moved it, and I'll show you, it's going to show you where it is. This funny little corner here. We've got a few odds and ends. It's between the oval spinney and the rest of the orchard. There's a Julia's willow growing area. This is, for those of you who remember this, this is a pear tree grown from a pip, which I always advise people not to do, but hey, we made the choice to do this and we're not expecting too much from it. This is from the very unusual pear tree that grows outside the Royal Oak pub in Winchester, which is a very fascinating tree that deserves a video in its own right. But anyway, this is the quince tree that was dug up. I dug it up, it took me 2 hours to dig it up and drag it here. And I staked it up obviously, and I pruned it back very hard, and it grew away a little bit last year, and this year it's got some quince flowers on it. We'll probably get some fruit. So you can dig up and move a fairly big tree, and even bigger than that if you've got the time and the energy, but hey, it's ever such much a better idea to think it through and plant correctly in the first place. Now when I planted those trees, I knew or should have known that Norway spruce and Serbian spruce and larch grow to 60 to 80 feet tall, so I shouldn't really have planted some quince right in the shadow of them. Anyway, those ones will do. They're too big to move. Right, mistake number 2. What was it a mistake? I'm not sure. You know, I planted a Burr Hardy pear tree down here, and it grew away very well, and the wasps destroyed all the fruit, and it's not worked out very well. So what I did, I sawed the tree back very hard. This is on quince A. It's about 15 years old. I sawed it back brutally, and what I did, I stuck in a rind graft there. I did that last year. Look at the growth it's made. So rind, look at the growth it's already made. This year it's already made 2 inches of growth by the 2nd of May this year. This bit grew very long and whippy, so I tied it in. And this year it's going to grow away. So this has been grafted with Blakeney Red, because this area here, the Peace Orchard, incidentally Julia's just pouring out some spoil, some subsoil we've dug up from the wildlife pond we're making over there. But this area here is going over to wildflower meadow with widely spaced peri pears, so it's going to be a low input. Hopefully it'll be here for many years after we have died. We hope. Although you know, we're doing our wills again this week. We're late 50s. We hope to live to be as old as our parents, who are in their 80s still alive. But you know, you should make a will, and you should get right with God as well. That's really important. But anyway, this is a third mistake. I mean, that's just an example of a tree that wasn't right, and it's been grafted over to a tree that moves this plant. I've said a lot about grafting top working trees over. Here was planted a Blakeney Red peri pear on seedling rootstocks, and it died. It got, I put a video up about this. We put a non-breathable sort of corrugated plastic tube around it, during what I refer to as the long winter of 2011 to 2013, where it just did not stop raining. Water collected around it and the whole bark rotted. It was unsavable. There was nothing that could be done. What I did, I sawed it off down at ground level, and a shoot came up. This is the rootstock. This is the seedling pear rootstock, and I'm growing this on. I could have grafted it this year, but I determined to let it grow a bit more. And also some more shoots have come up around it. 3 shoots have come up from near the base. Do you see what I've done? I've piled up earth around them, and I'm expecting that they will root into that earth. What will happen, hopefully, this coming winter is that I'm going to dig these up carefully. I'll excavate the earth down, go down and get these 3 out with as much, because these cost about £5 each if you can get them. So then I'll have 3 seedling pear rootstocks I'll be able to graft onto, and then I will graft onto this. I haven't decided which variety yet. This was Blakeney Red originally, but I have some other pear varieties, and I'm hoping perhaps to nick or borrow or beg a few other pears from some of the people in Gloucestershire who are custodians of some very rare and hard to find old pear varieties. Okay, so that's just 3 errors. Which one was corrected? 1 quince planted in the wrong place, overshadowed by much taller trees, so it was dug up and moved, and 2 years later it's alive. There, pear tree, big, healthy, wrong place, sawn back hard, grafted over. That'll be cropping in 3 years. And the tree died, but some growth has came back from the rootstock. And also I'm going to get some new. I'm cultivating that in such a way as to get some new rootstocks from it. So there we have it. And this is our developing wildflower meadow. We bought 50 quid's worth of wildflower mix from Cotswold Wildflower Mix and scattered them around, as you would expect from the rules of natural selection, which work very well in their context. Some of the plants never made it, and others have made it very well indeed. And these are cowslips, and we never had cowslips here before, but obviously they like it, and they like this particular microclimate, and they're growing away really very well indeed. So by careful management here, so we're excavating a pond, and there was some, we're moving some of the earth here to level it up. That's a long story. We had some 60 tons of clay moved out here, and it's a bit lumpy. To help a friend, it's got a bit lumpy. Anyway, this video is getting longer now. It's getting too long, so I'll just finish with some of these pears. This is a variety called Brandy, pear called Brandy, and I've got 2 of them. There's the other one. They came from Deacon's Nursery in the Isle of Wight, and I haven't had a lot of dealings with them, but in all the dealings I've had with them, they've been very satisfactory. So this last year, this had fruit on it, but I snipped them all off because I wanted this to grow more. I think this year I will leave a dozen pears on. The tree looks as though they can bear it. Incidentally, I don't normally stake trees. This is quite a tall tree, and it was blowing around quite a lot in the wind last year, so I staked these using a rubber tyre there, bicycle tyre. You can see I've slit the inner tube rather. I've slit the inner tube lengthways so I can get 2 tree ties instead of 1. So anyway, I better shut up and get on to some more work from the orchard on 2nd of May. A cold 2nd of May, but we have had some wonderfully warm weather. And this is a Ribston pippin tree, which I can't remember exactly why it got planted out here, but it looks so pretty that we're going to leave it where it is.